The February train derailment and release of toxic chemicals in East Palestine is still impacting the town and continues to spark calls for legislation to improve rail safety. But statistics show train derailments are actually common. The Federal Railroad Administration reports there were more than 1,000 here in the United States last year alone.
And the situation in East Palestine isn't unique either. Michaela Marshall and I went to two different towns that experienced similar disasters to learn about what their recovery process has been like and how they feel about it now.
Yes, we got royally screwed. Royally. My mama's lungs is gone. She's got 60% of her lungs left, 40% of them gone.
3 small towns, 3 train derailments involving a release of toxic chemicals.
It looked like a real mysterious movie at the night, when it's spooky, and then all heck broke loose.
From Paulsboro, New Jersey to Graniteville, South Carolina, we examined what went wrong and what was learned from accidents similar to what happened here in Ohio.
They ruined an entire town, and they've ruined a lot of people's lives with what they did.
And from health to home values, the message the people of these towns have for those living in East Palestine.
What's your advice for people in East Palestine?
My advice to people in East Palestine is hold out and fight for your community. Don't give up.
So Chuck and I have been working on a pretty interesting project that we're excited to share with you. I recently went to Paulsboro, New Jersey, outside of Philadelphia, where a train derailment in 2012 released vinyl chloride into the water and air. And that's the same chemical that was released in East Palestine.
And then I visited Graniteville, South Carolina, an old textile town where a train derailment in 2005 released chlorine into the community, where 9 people died.
Now in Paulsboro, no one died, but many of the people we spoke to say that their town did struggle in many areas, including financially. We're going to be introducing you to the mayor, who recalls a lot of vacant homes, drops in property values, and an overall stigma that stuck with the town for many years.
And the same thing is true for Graniteville. I was able to pull some county records, and up until 2015, the average property value in the district which Graniteville sits in was $51,000 below the average property value for the county. So people there, it's been 18 years, almost 2 decades in Graniteville, and people are still recovering.
Yeah, and as we know, in East Palestine, state and government leaders, Norfolk Southern, they're making a lot of promises about, long-term health clinics, economic recovery, and overall staying there until the community is whole again. And a lot of the people I spoke with in Paulsboro say that they remember hearing a lot of the same promises, but now looking back, they feel maybe they haven't followed through. There's been a lack of long-term action. There's just an overall sense, Chuck, of being forgotten and a lack of trust.
And the same thing rings true for the people of Graniteville. And we're going to be covering all of our stories throughout the week. Our series Off the Rails, Life After Toxic Train Wrecks, begins tomorrow mornings with my first story from Graniteville, and it'll continue with Michaela's story later on that afternoon. And for more information, photos, and all of our stories, you can find them on the Spectrum News app.